Today's One Shot is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On this week's One Shot, my music apps and services of choice. Let's get to it. Alright, so like many of you, I love music, and I also have a very, very wide range of bands that I like, everywhere from, Mozart to Radiohead and anything in between. I love all types of music, bar a few, but I won't bring that up right now. And I have found that buying CDs, especially when they're new, new bands that you haven't necessarily had a lot of experience with, can be hit or miss, and it can also be very, very expensive. And so a few years ago, well, probably more like 6 years ago, I decided to start looking into the music services. I did do Rhapsody for a long time, and Rhapsody was quite fine. I enjoyed Rhapsody. I ended up getting Rhapsody because I could get the, my TiVo had a Rhapsody ability, even though it sucks, and it still sucks today. So it just kind of encouraged me to pick Rhapsody, even though it was a little more mainstream kind of thing. And since then, we've had Spotify, which I have recently switched to, over the last year, switched to. Rhapsody, I was very happy with it. I love the selection. They have a few, more things than Spotify does, but at the same time, Spotify has a few more, like maybe obscure things that Rhapsody doesn't have. So it's kind of definitely a give and take. I had to sacrifice a few of my, beloved tracks in order to switch over to Spotify. But Rhapsody did a great job. As long as it's on the computer, it's wonderful. The problems that I have are mostly with the application. I've done a lot of research and talked to a lot of people about, which iPhone app and whatnot, and I'm going to be talking about iPhone because I have an iPhone. Which app was better, especially when Spotify, hit the States here. And there was a lot of debate. Spotify definitely carries higher bit rates and also is just a faster app. But Rhapsody, even though they had a rocky start, and I experienced that, I had lots of, just dead air waiting for the songs to load. I had application crashes and fails. Part of that might have been I didn't have the best iPhone. This is on the 3GS, I think. Anyway, there was a little bit of a lag that I had to deal with, but it has gotten better. And right before I switched to Spotify, I was quite happy with it. But Spotify is a better application. It is quicker. I've never really had to wait for anything that I can remember. You can also, download stuff. They had that just before Rhapsody. Rhapsody has that now as well. So you really can't, miss either way. I think it's $10 for one, and then if you want to have multiple iDevices, it might be $15. Spotify might give you two. I can't quite remember, and of course they change their packages all the time. But Spotify, the thing that I don't like Spotify, I guess I should say it, I should phrase it as, I liked better with Rhapsody, is Rhapsody does a folder system where you can easily just keep your artists, in separate folders, and all the albums that you want, you can go to that specific album, no problem, no fuss, no muss, whatever, and have it in your library. So, you filter out all the other stuff that you don't want. Spotify does not have that. Both you can play, you do as many playlists as you want. Spotify, it's very easy to make a playlist, but you pretty much have to make a playlist of every album if you want to keep them separated somehow, which I do. I like to know what album's from. I want to jump right to that album or whatever. So I have to make a playlist in Spotify, whereas Rhapsody is just, as soon as you save the artist, it will save in that structure, in that folder structure. So Spotify also has the favorites. You can star things, and it kind of basically defaults. It makes a playlist. So I don't really see the point of that. I guess I star a couple songs just to remember that, like, I really, really like this song. This is like the epitome of this band or whatever. So I might star that, and it's just really just making a playlist. So I miss that about Rhapsody. But Spotify, again, because of the higher bit rate, higher quality music, and I've never had to wait, is great. And also I can share with friends that don't want to pay for a subscription service. Rhapsody has a little bit of that, but now Spotify, it's easy to embed a player. I do it on my blog all the time. Anytime that I talk about music here, I'll just, attach a few songs to my blog for you guys to check out. and Spotify is just really. I wish that they had a free iPhone or Android app kind of situation. I don't know. I don't know how they could work that. Maybe like Pandora, where they have a bunch of ads all the time. But at least it would give people the option, because I would love to have people be able to audition it for longer than, I think it's a month you get an audition before you have to sign up with Spotify. That would be great. I think it would encourage people to jump into the pay, service, music service thing. I was hesitant for a while because it's one of those things, just like Netflix, that you have to kind of understand. You're not going to own anything. If you stop paying, or if the phone lines go down, the internet goes down, then you're SOL. You don't have music. You don't have ownership of anything. But screw ownership sometimes, because it's like I can experience everything I want. If I have some time, if I hear about a new band, I can listen to anything that's on Spotify. Of course, it's not all inclusive, so there are some bands I run into that are just not present. Pandora, we're going to talk about radio just a little bit. Last FM and Pandora are kind of the two biggest of the radio station, apps. And I like Pandora for sure. It's where I learn a lot of, new music, honestly. They have a lot of stuff from, Britain and, around the world that I wouldn't normally get a chance. And even though Spotify is also from across the pond, they don't always have things that I find in Pandora. So that's the little bit of overlap that I don't like. There is no ability with Pandora to, queue up a song. So even though I love this song and I would be willing to pay Pandora in order to listen to it, I kind of have to, hope that it comes up. And when it comes up, I'll thumb the heck out of it, and hopefully it'll show up more often. It's kind of silly that way, but it is smart. We owe a lot to Pandora because it has that smart radio station where it starts learning your taste because you favorited things. I'm still not sure, though, if, there are some bands where I really like the band, but every once in a while I just hate that song. And I'm worried about, doing a thumbs down, because I don't want it to say, okay, well, maybe they don't like this band. It's just the song that I really don't like. So I'm a little hesitant to put thumbs down for everything. And I'm also a little hesitant to put thumbs up for things, because I don't want to change the radio station. That's the biggest problem. Say I have a Jesper Kid, and I did an earlier review of Jesper Kid. He does a lot of video game soundtracks and whatnot. A lot of it's ambient, a little bit electronic, and some kind of world, influence in it. If I, start thumbing up, I don't know, let's just say Radiohead, because you probably all know Radiohead. If Radiohead comes up for whatever reason, and I thumb it up, then it's going to start kind of incorporating things like Radiohead into that station, and I don't want to do that. Even though I love that song, I have to resist the temptation to thumbs it up, because it's going to start changing my radio station in a way that I don't want it to change. I mean, I already have a Silver Sun Pickups radio station, and that has Radiohead on a lot, so you have to be careful that cross-contamination thing. So it's not perfect. The ads obviously piss me off. I'm not one of the ones that pays for the longer time or whatever. Pandora for me is just kind of like a respite from Spotify, and to help me maybe pick up something new. So I do both of them. I pay for Spotify. I do not pay for Pandora, at least not yet. It's getting close, though. I don't know. I'm getting annoyed enough with those advertisements. But the thing is, I don't think that's how it should work. I shouldn't be, give them money because they're pissing me off with this stupid, advertisement. Of course, that's what they want, but I think that's a crappy business model. It's just, you don't want to irritate your customers right off the bat. So whatever. That's my opinion. I also want to bring up some really obscure applications. There's one in particular. I am a real fan of Ghostly International. Very soon, I'm going to be doing some Ghostly International artists. Destro is one of my favorites. Maybe you've heard of School of Seven Bells. They're also on Destro or on Ghostly International label. And I really love their little app. Most of the Ghostly International stuff borders on the instrumental and the electronic kind of stuff. But their application, which is called Ghostly Discovery, you can go find it now in the App Store or Android Market, it is so cool because it has all their database, like most of their artists, all their songs available to you. But what it does, because it's Ghostly Discovery, is it allows you to pick a mood, and then it allows you to pick fast or slow. You have a little slider that you can move. or what is it, digital or organic. And so you can pick your mood. So you can say, I'm in a real laid back mood and I want it all organic and I want it slow. And it'll bring up songs that fit that category. And it's really kind of a cool thing. You also, you can have energetic songs, you can have happy songs, you can have sad songs. It's all over the board. And it's based on colors, so you got to learn the colors. Of course, you can go online. They also have a browser-enabled, app, and it'll tell you what color is what. But it's really, really a cool thing. It is easy to skip. I believe you can go back and forth with that one, and that's cool because, of course, Pandora, unless you pay, you cannot go back, so you can't re-listen to a song or if you miss some or whatever. So that's a little irritating, but it's all give and take. And the Ghostly International, best part, it's free. It's really just a way to kind of showcase their artists, and they're hoping that you'll fall in love with one and want to listen to it right away. Just like Pandora, you can't really control what comes up next. Not really, but it's a great experience. I love that. So anytime that I'm in kind of a digital mood, I will listen to that. So that's really, my favorite applications. I would love to hear from you guys, see if there's anything that I'm missing. I know there's a lot out there. Napster, they did all that, the whole free music database server kind of thing, and then they got in trouble, so they're doing a paid service now. And I've heard that they have some more obscure ones that Rhapsody and Spotify don't have. I'm looking forward to Spotify growing even more. It's fairly new to the States, and I'm wondering if they have a different library. I honestly haven't done research on that, seeing if their library is an American library and they have a lot of English stuff that is kept out of it. Because there's a couple English bands that I really would like to listen to, but in order to order the CD, it'd be like $29 for a stupid import. Even iTunes, buying them, sometimes they're not available and sometimes they're just super expensive. So I look forward to that. But I hope you can, check those out. Spotify, again, if you're looking for a solid iPhone app, that's the one that I've encountered that is the most solid for the least amount of money. So it's hassle-free. Just can't do the whole folder thing, which sucks. But playlists, as long as you're good at making playlists, it'll be no problem. So, all right, guys, go check it out. Spotify, Ghostly Discovery. Those are the two that I recommend. We'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the week.